Are you new to resin casting? If you are, I can tell you 6 things to avoid when you first start to become more successful. So let's go.
Number 1.
Be safe in your shop. I use resin that I can't even smell, but I still will use a respirator when the camera's not on. If you see me on the live shows or whatever, I don't use a respirator because I'm talking on camera, but if I'm not, use a respirator. Gloves, glasses, well-ventilated area, use a respirator. I'm safe in my shop. You be safe in your shop.
2.
A huge mistake that I see all the time is that people think that resins and epoxies are all the same. So I teach all the time on the live show that I do on ALUMILITE Clear Slow, what temperatures to do and how much you can do. You have to use a pressure pot. There's all kinds of stuff with this. And then I'll get people message me and say, well, I tried it with this other stuff and it didn't work. Well, it's not going to work. This one is all about reading the directions. So this one right here, ALUMILITE Clear Slow, says 1-to-1 mix ratio by weight. This is an 8-pound kit. The working time is 12 minutes. The demold time is 4 hours. And that's if you're at 70 degrees Fahrenheit ambient temperature. This is by weight, not volume. On the flip side of that, here's a deep pour from ALUMILITE also. And this says mix ratio 2-to-1 by volume. Free time is 24 to 72 hours. Working time is 60 to 90 minutes. Cure time's 5 to 7 days. So these are from the same company, but they do totally different things. It depends on what you want to do. Most of the ones that I see have it right on the labels. If not, you go to the website and they'll have all of that information right there. You need to know how to measure it by weight or volume. You need to know what the working time is, and you need to know when the demold time is. So read the directions. Not all resins are the same.
3.
Mixing and measuring is very, very important. We kind of covered measuring already. So you go weight or volume. So you get cups like this for volume, and there's all kinds of lines on here. I just use the ones over here on the side that make it easy to measure for volume. And I also use cups like this because they're smooth on the inside. So if you mix A and B together and you have a cup like this that has all these ridges on it, when you go to mix it, it's going to be hard to get every little morsel of resin mixed together. So if you do have cups like this, do your first mix, pour them in another cup, and then mix it some more before you cast it in whatever you're going to cast. But I use these all the time, and I use these after these are mixed. I put it in here and then put the colors in here and mix it, and it turns out fine. But the point is, inside of here is smooth, and I also use silicone spatulas. I have a link to all this stuff below. But I use silicone spatulas because they're kind of bendy on the sides, and it's going to scrape every little bit. You can scrape the bottom, you can scrape the sides. Everything's going to get mixed. Resin's expensive. We don't want to waste any, and we sure don't want to have bad castings because we didn't mix it well. So a lot of times people will go, hey, I have part of my cast that was kind of gooey or didn't set up all the way. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because they didn't have it mixed well. Some of it was mixed fully, and other parts of it was mixed not good enough. And it could have been due to something like this, just something simple like having ribs in your cup. Mixing and measuring.
4.
A mistake that a lot of people make, including myself, is they want to see what somebody did online and then they want to duplicate that. Let's say this, for instance, right here is multiple colors. There's clear in here. There's floating colors. There's stabilized wood. There's a lot of things going on here. This is a huge thing to start with. One of the first things I ever did was a Hulk figurine in about a gallon of resin. It was ridiculous. It ended up being successful, but one, I know now that I was lucky, and the thing that helped me out was I did study a lot, and I watched videos just like this one to help me out, but it was totally lucky. So the thing that I suggest for you is to start off small. This is a bottle stopper mold. It's just a rectangle mold. If you mess this up, it's going to cost you, maybe $10 or something. This could be hundreds of dollars that you mess up, and then you'll get discouraged and not want to try it again. It's going to be hard, but if you do this, you can make beautiful things with this, like this, and then you'll be successful. Then you can work your way up to doing things like this bowl or that dragon egg over there, and then sooner or later, people are going to be trying to do the things that you're doing online.
5.
Resin does not like air or moisture. So if you've ever seen a cast that has bubbles in it, that's more likely from air being in whatever you're casting. And if you've seen it just look milky, it's a distinct look. It just looks like a white swirl in there. That is more than likely from moisture. I go so far as to stabilize every piece of wood that I put in there. This is maple burl. I go through a whole stabilizing thing. I'll put a link to those videos below. But even after I stabilize this, and stabilizing takes the air and moisture out of these, it replaces it with a cactus juice, and that's just a stabilizing resin. You go through this whole thing, and even before I cast this, I'm going to put it back in the oven just to burn the surface moisture off of this so I don't get any milky residue in my castings. No air, no moisture.
6.
You're going to need to remove bubbles from your resin, from the surfaces of it. So if you have a tabletop that you've done, you're going to need to get a torch like this and just go over it and lightly put it over there, put some heat on it, and the bubbles will pop. How I do it with my resin, it's mandatory that I use a pressure pot. And I also think anything that can fit in a pressure pot can benefit from using a pressure pot. There has been some art pieces that have the tabletop stuff over it that have fit in the pressure pot. All the bubbles go away. So this is with a pressure pot, and this is without a pressure pot with ALUMILITE Clear Slow. And it happens immediately. There's a big discussion, vacuum chamber, pressure pot. I'm going to do a video in the future over vacuum chambers versus pressure pots, but that's not for today. You just need to know when you're starting to do resin casting, you're going to need to get bubbles out of it somehow. It's either going to be a pressure pot or it's going to be with a torch. So there you go. You're going to need, don't do a cast without knowing this, and you're just going to have the surface is going to be full of bubbles. So bubbles.
Bonus tip.
The bonus tip for today is going to be to just have fun with it. This is an awesome hobby. You'll be able to make some beautiful things and have things to pass down to your family and gifts and everything like that. Also, have fun at our live show we do every Saturday. It's called Saturday Morning Cartoons, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time on this channel. And I did talk about ALUMILITE Clear Slow a lot today, and I do have a video, A to Z, everything you need to know about it right here. Go over and see me on this video right here. See y'all next time.